What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City transfer update, rolling out daily Manchester City transfer updates for you guys to look forward to and enjoy. So if you are new around here and you want to stay up to date on YouTube every single day with all the latest Manchester City transfers, it's going to be a really busy one with incomings, outgoings, potential contracts as well. Then make sure you have subscribed to my channel. It is free. Also, don't forget social media links. They're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim, and do let me know your thoughts, what you make of these transfers in the comments below. So we're going to dive right in. We're going to start off with the outs because it's getting very hot out there, literally with outgoings. Alan Nixon's been reporting on Tommy Doyle. He says Brendan Rodgers at Celtic, their manager, he is a big fan of Tommy Doyle, and should Celtic lose any midfielders this summer, he wants Tommy Doyle to come and sign for them. It's believed Celtic, if they do decide to push for this deal, would want a permanent deal rather than a loan. So I think that's one to keep an eye on. There is a lot of interest in Tommy Doyle, and I do suspect that once City get some clarification on first team players, the likes of the futures of Tommy Doyle, James McAtee, etc, Taylor Harwood-Bellis too, will get sorted very soon in the next week or two. Could well come just before the start of the Premier League this week. We'll have to wait and see what developments we do get. And speaking of James McAtee, got the very latest on him. The Mail have said that it is decision time for Man City this week when it comes to James McAtee. There is a lot of interest. Some on loan, some permanent. Celtic, they're interested, of course, along with Tommy Doyle. Sheffield United, they're interested in McAtee, along with Tommy Doyle as well. I think it's a case for both clubs of one, not the other. They're not looking for both players, they're looking for one or the other. Also interesting, McAtee comes from Wolves, Brighton, Southampton, Sheffield United and Celtic that we've just mentioned. Also AZ Alkmaar over in the Netherlands and Real Sociedad in Spain as well. As I said, some interested on loan, some interested on a permanent basis. It'll be interesting to see what City choose to do with McAtee, where we send him out on loan and where he does end up. Now, moving on, we've got the very latest on Cole Palmer, fresh from his goal in the Community Shield for Manchester City. He's been speaking about his future in a post-match interview, and he has said that at some point pretty soon, potentially this week, he's going to sit down and speak with Manchester City about the future. He doesn't know what the future holds. That's why he wants to sit down with City and see where we go. Are City going to push forward and try and sign a winger? If that's the case, Cole Palmer will leave. If he does leave, is it going to be on a permanent basis? What's going to be the structure of that deal? If it is a permanent basis, is it going to be a loan? Is it just going to be a flat loan? Is it going to be a loan with an option to buy or an obligation to buy? There's a lot of interest in these high-quality young players for Manchester City. There's a lot of money to be made, so it's about finding that right balance about loaning, selling and keeping for Manchester City. And speaking of loaning, selling or keeping, moves us on to a first team player in Joao Cancelo. Now, he was left out of the squad for the Community Shield yesterday for Arsenal against Manchester City, which City unfortunately ended up coming out on the wrong end of a penalty shootout, and Arsenal win the Community Shield. So I do suspect, very much like the young players, that this week could be a very important week when it comes to Cancelo, because his future also is up for question and needs sorting by Manchester City. And as I said, is it a question of, do we sell? If we do sell, will we sell into a Premier League club for more money? Will we sell into a club abroad and settle for less? Are we going to loan him out? Will there be obligations, options to buy? What's it going to be? Or will Man City decide, actually, Cancelo could still do a job for the club and they've decided to keep him? We'll have to wait and see. And speaking of another player whose future now needs sorting, is Aymeric Laporte. Simon Mullock has said that Manchester City, now with the arrival of Josko Gvardiol, which I'll dig more into when we get onto the incomings, has said now that cast doubt on Aymeric Laporte. Manchester City are pushing for a sale. It is believed word from Laporte's camp is they're looking for a sale as well. Interestingly, Simon Mullock says City believed to be looking for around £30 million for Laporte, which I think is a little bit short for someone of as high quality as Aymeric Laporte. I think he's a really underappreciated player, brilliant with the ball, he's got excellent reading of the game, he's a seasoned professional, he is an he's a high-quality centre-back. To me, he walked into any other Premier League centre-back pairing. He is that good, but with Man City, they're so stacked in defence, they need to sell, and because they need to sell, they're going to have to maybe settle for less unless they choose to sell to a Premier League club, and they might be able to get a little bit more. But another problem is if we want to sell him abroad, there isn't too much interest. However, Premier League, Arsenal, Villa, Spurs, their names being put out there. So what are City going to decide to do? Again, it's a big week coming up this for outgoings for Manchester City. Now, moving on to the final transfer of the outs takes us on to a big update here on Bernardo Silva. Now, Fabrizio Romano has said that City stands still very similar to what it has been pretty much for the last 2 weeks. City have no plans at all to sell Bernardo Silva this summer. Since we've lost Riyad Mahrez, we're having a big insistence on keeping Bernardo Silva, because otherwise we're looking very short, not only in midfield but on right wing as well. There was interest from Barcelona, there was interest from PSG. PSG have pulled out of the race to sign Bernardo Silva. That isn't happening. And word we're hearing from Mateo Moretto over in Italy is that Bernardo Silva to Barcelona from Manchester City is nigh impossible, and it isn't going to happen this summer. And because of that, everything now is pointing not only to Bernardo Silva staying at Manchester City this summer, everything's pointing towards Bernardo Silva signing a new deal with Manchester City as well, which would be a brilliant bit of business to get sorted. And it's the same situation with Kyle Walker and Bayern Munich. I presume Pep's already had his talks with them pictures coming out of Kyle Walker having a deep conversation with Pep Guardiola whilst out for dinner in Manchester. He's Man City's captain. He's featuring a lot of minutes. I think, to me, everything's pointing towards Kyle Walker staying at Manchester City as well. Now, moving on to the ins, we've got a new name comes in the form of Mason Melia, plays for St Patrick's Athletic over in Ireland. He became the League of Ireland's youngest scorer at just 15 years old. Plays as a forward. City have been impressed, and the Mail are saying that City have been that impressed they've invited him over to Manchester to have a trial with Manchester City, which I'm sure is very exciting there for Mason. So it'll be interesting to see how he does. If he does end up signing for City, it of course will be a player for the CFA, the City Football Academy. Now, moving on, Josko Gvardiol, 10 a.m. Saturday, August 5th, 2023, a saga that's gone on for nearly 2 months that JSGC has kept you guys up to date with on YouTube every single day has concluded, and Man City have got their man. Josko Gvardiol signs for Manchester City, 5-year deal, £77 million fee. Saga done and dusted. Already done my announcement video. It's on my channel. If you've not gone and checked it out, please do feel free. But wanted to wish Josko a big warm welcome, and I cannot wait to see him in action. It's the last time I get to call him Josko Gvardiol, because it's been going on all summer, as I have been told, and it is factually correct. I think that his name is pronounced Josko Gvardiol rather than Josko Gvardiol. So from now on, JSGC is going to have to get it right 100%. Just like I had with Mateo Kovacic, and it's Mateo Kovacic. This is Josko Gvardiol signing for Manchester City. Now, moving on from Josko takes us on to the final transfer of this video. Manchester City, according to The Sun, are paying and turning all their attention now that Josko Gvardiol's arrived to Manchester City towards the coast, to Brighton and Hove Albion, not for Moises Caicedo, which is what the rumour has been, but actually to Kaoru Mitoma instead. Apparently City are believed to be willing to spend £50 million to sign Mitoma from Brighton and Hove Albion. He's a brilliant player on his day. He's got skills to pay the bills. Quick, direct Premier League experience. He is a very exciting prospect. 26 years old, Japanese as well. To me, my only problem that I've got is I haven't seen him be adaptable for Brighton. I've seen him play on the left wing and left wing only. I will tell you right now, Mitoma will not displace Jack Grealish in the Manchester City team. Grealish, whilst you'd love him to get assists and goals for City, he is a player that offers high importance to the team. His defensive capabilities, his willingness to track back, his willingness to help the team, and what he offers to the team as well is irreplaceable to Manchester City. So if Mitoma arrives, it could be him playing backup. If that is the case, £50 million for a backup attacker is a lot of money for Man City to spend, in my opinion. So the bigger question has to be asked, Are City going to do something else with Jack Grealish, or are City going to do something else with Mitoma? Now, if Mitoma can adapt and play on that right wing as well, then that excites me. That'll be a really good signing for Manchester City. If he's just playing second fiddle to Jack Grealish, I'm not too keen on this deal, unless we've got another plan for Jack Grealish, which is Pep Guardiola. There could be any plan for any player. I also think signing Mitoma could ease a bit of congestion on Phil Foden and the expectation on him, because if we've got cover stacked on that left-hand side, Phil Foden won't be seen on that left wing for Manchester City. He can operate as a rotated option with Bernardo Silva for the right wing. It frees up Cole Palmer, leaving Manchester City to get regular first-team minutes, which for his development I think that he needs. And it also allows Phil Foden to focus more on moving into central midfield, which could be long-term the plan for Manchester City as well. So this deal can make sense. I just think it's a lot of money to be spending on a player who we need a right winger. He's going to be playing on the left wing to free up another player to play on the right wing. Who knows? It's Manchester City. Anything can happen. Would love to know your thoughts, though, about Mitoma. Would you be excited to see him at Manchester City? What do you think he can offer to the team? How would we make it work? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget as well to leave a thumbs up on this video. That'd be much appreciated. 300 likes is the aim. Subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Daily Manchester City transfer updates coming throughout the whole summer transfer window for you guys to look forward to. As I said, it's going to be busy. Contract news, outgoings, incoming. City not done in the market just yet. So if you want to stay up to date, first and fast on YouTube with all the latest Manchester City transfer news, then make sure you have subscribed to my channel. It is free. Social media links, they're in the description below, sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. And I'll see you guys religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.